been a crazy week. Second. Still sick. Had midterms all week. Sorry I didn't keep you guys posted. It was actually a huge week. Where to start? AVAX, right? Most people know that I'm bullish AVAX for the most part. I like the ecosystem. I like the developers. I like a lot of the programs. But Avalanche Rush was a big disappointment. Just because of the way I think that it was rolled out. They were teasing people and everyone was really excited. You know, the price was moving vertically and all the capital was there. And look at us now. We're back at 60. Looks like we have some kind of resistance around $58, $59. But I mean, check out that downward trend, man. That's rough, you know. And it was expected, right? Told you guys here. I'm really happy that. Oh, hey, welcome to the stream, man. I told you guys, you know, earlier on Monday, I put out a video. I told you Luna and Phantom. You guys got to rotate. It's all about chasing these financial incentives and trying to maximize your exposure to these like incentive programs. So yeah, this avalanche chart is pretty sad to look at. But if you look at something like Phantom, it's been doing really, really well. I still think Phantom's a great buy. I still see a lot of promise in Phantom. I see a lot of parallels to AVAX. You know, low transaction fees. We have yield aggregators. We have auto compounders. There's lots of stuff, you know. Yeah, I get that it's a huge move, you know. It kind of sucks. Some people in my Discord, all week I was doing midterms, so I didn't have time to correctly allocate. You know, look at the stochastic RSI. It was kind of like a little correction, but it seems like it's kind of stabilizing a little bit. It's pretty crazy. I really want to get some exposure to Luna. I also want to get some exposure to Phantom. Phantom still has a smaller market cap. Let me check action on CoinGecko. Let's see. I have some other things pulled up we're going to talk about in a little bit. Phantom's a great project. I'm going to go right out of the gate. I know a lot of you guys are looking for the next big thing. Everybody's rotating capital, and it's like, you know, what's next, right? Am I late to Phantom? What's up with AVAX? You know, what's up with Luna? What's up with ADA? What's up with, well, you know, those are primarily the things that I'm looking at. There's some other good ones. I mean, Chainlink was, looked like a good buy. But right, let's just focus. Let's focus here on the Phantom. Phantom, you know, it kind of sucks to buy somebody else's bag, right? There's so many people who made so much money. If you knew about Phantom 2 or 3 months ago, you know, the returns are insane. How much do I think it has to grow? Well, it's really, you know, the market cap is a good indicator for the most part. You know, if you look here, you know, Phantom and AVAX are very similar. I haven't seen anything from Phantom developers or, you know, Phantom incentives or Phantom money flowing in. You know, we're right here at $2.5 billion, right? Do I think that Phantom could grow bigger than like, oh, that was the volume. Market cap, sorry, 5 billion. Do I think that we could pass Internet Computer? Yeah. Right. In terms of like how much money is on the ecosystem, I think a good metric is look at something like AVAX, right? Just on Aave, we have $3 billion. That's not counting Curve, right? Which has 442 million, right? I think looking at a lot of these APYs and incentives that people are offering is a really good indicator of where the money's going. Where the money's moving is where you should move. because for the most part, people tend not to be very loyal to one coin. You know, I know people love Bitcoin, people love Ethereum. I love AVAX, but you know, I'm looking at my AVAX and the opportunity cost of holding this coin. It's got to set some kind of bounce. You know, thankfully, I mean, look, obviously this is a downtrend. I mean, I'm not even gonna just obviously, right? And then obviously here we had a break. It's not looking too good. It really isn't looking too good. I might have to liquidate my AVAX position, just because again, it's not that I don't think AVAX doesn't still have a 2x in it. It's just that I don't think the 2x is going to be anytime soon. You know, the developers posted like, okay, you know, we see the complaint, we see that the yields are low, and you know, people are going where they can earn the most money. So people are leaving the ecosystem. I haven't checked the bridging data. We should probably check that live. Let's see what's going on there. I think AVAX bridge data. I think it's called like whale something. Uni whales. It's a good website. Give some good info. I don't know what this is. Let's check it out. There it is. So again, I don't think that AVAX doesn't have, you know, a 2x in it, right? My price target originally was somewhere over $100. I was gonna kind of feel it out, see what kind of momentum we were going into it. You know, on the optimistic side, $150. On the less optimistic side, I was hoping to reach, you know, to break our previous all-time high, which I think was like $77 or something like that. 73. Look, we even hit at one point almost $80. You know, so I would like to see us return there. It's just I don't really know what our time window is. So I would recommend anyone who's holding AVAX, anyone who has been here for the ride and bought at $32 or whatever it is, it's a good time to take profits. It really is. You know, you can buy back in later. You know, you'll definitely, once you see an upward momentum starting, you can again buy in if you like the ecosystem or whatever it is. There are some projects on AVAX that I actually own that I'm still going to own kind of long just because I like them. They're a little bit higher risk, so I don't feel comfortable sharing them because I don't want anyone to lose money. But you know, just because you don't hold a ton of AVAX doesn't mean that you can't support one of the projects. You know, it's just for a lot of the people that come to my channel, a lot of people that ask me for help. It's like, how can I make a safe, you know, farm? What's the safest farm, and where are the best rates? Right. That's for me. That's what I, you know, that's what I do, and that's the advice that I give most people. You know, if you want to take on more risk and farm some more volatile assets, that's fine, but this is what I had open for you guys. So here's Aave, right? Aave, obviously the APR for the Avalanche Rush incentive is going up because a lot of people, you know, there's not the same kind of what's it called? But you know, people aren't just bullish making NFTs and making projects every day, kind of like how we were 2 months ago, where like the Avalanche craze was all over the place. You know, I bought a bunch of random NFTs and made money off of minting, right? Like if you got in early, you get like 5% back or whatever it is out of the 10,000, and I would usually come up positive. Just even just purchasing the NFT, they would give me Avalanche back, and the vertical price movement made it really, really profitable. And I was just kind of trying anything and anything. Now that's not really the case. I would just kind of use these as tools, right? I would just check the rates, see if it fits what your strategy is. You know, they're offering 12.29 plus 2.61. That's, you know, 14.9, right? Which is all right. And then you can obviously borrow. They're still paying you to borrow everything except, I mean, Avalanche, Bitcoin, but the stables are still there, right? So for me, what I ended up doing this week is I really was just kind of, I didn't really have time. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Like, normally I'm looking at every single project and trying to find the highest yields and vetting things myself. Um, we're kind of entering a new part of this crypto cycle, right? Bitcoin is above its historical support line and it's moving upwards. If you take a look, in case you haven't seen it this week, um, this is good. You know, overall for the ecosystem, this is really good because usually bull runs start around, you know, a really blatant indicator is Bitcoin putting in a new all-time high. Do I think that we're in a position to put in a new all-time high? I do think so. I think there's a lot of people who wanted to buy Bitcoin and Ethereum and all these things, but you know, the big dumps and people kind of buying alts, and yeah, the focus was like, call it like a mini DeFi summer craze, right? I wouldn't call it an altcoin season or anything like that, right? I mean, yeah, there's always money to be made, but I think the big emphasis was all of these like yield farms and all these financial incentives. Now, you know, people are back on the Bitcoin craze. I usually go by a metric. It's very broad. It's not like super technical, but it's just kind of like historically speaking, you can expect Bitcoin to put in a new all-time high, then Ethereum, and then we enter another altcoin season. So for me, I don't mind accumulation phases. Accumulation phases is how you make money. You find a project that you like, that you think is undervalued, and you accumulate as many coins as you can via farming, or you could buy them, you know, dollar cost average over the next couple of weeks or whatever it is. You find a program that you like. You know, with Phantom, the problem with Phantom is I've been so AVAX crazy that I really haven't been dollar cost averaging Phantom. I wanted to move to Phantom and generate the, you know, farm the coins for free and take advantage of all the incentives. But now that it's pumping like this, I kind of have to reevaluate exactly how I'm going to approach that. It's probably going to have to find a smaller project because things like Curve, I mean, even if you look on Curve, like people were bridging to Phantom because originally the rates on Curve were much, much better than the Avalanche ones. But remember that when liquidity enters the ecosystem, obviously the yields drop. Right now it's still very young. I mean, look at the DAI USDC pool with $19.3 million. I mean, obviously that's a lot of money, right? But my point being, like, Avalanche still has double the amount of money allocated, and Wrapped AVAX is a coin that I wouldn't mind receiving my profits in, right? Because again, I am bullish AVAX. I have been reading about all the amazing things. AVAX claims to be faster than Ethereum 2.0, and it has all these cool NFT projects, and they have these like games and yield aggregators. They have a lot of really cool tech. So I don't mind receiving my profits in Wrapped AVAX. So I actually do have a position. Let's see if I can. Is it connected? Right, so I just have like a bunch of random coins that I think, let me think. I think I had some extra stable coins from Elk. I really liked Elk because it was a really, really easy way to go from Avalanche to a lot of these other ecosystems that have a lot of promise, right? The ones I was looking at for a long time was obviously Phantom, and I told you guys, but the other one is also Binance, the Binance Smart Chain. It's not a decentralized exchange. It's not like AVAX or Phantom. But there is always a lot of money to be made there. I know this week I had a lot of older investors who they don't mind gambling, right? They're using cryptocurrency as a way to gamble, and people love their shit coins, their Doge coins, their Shiba coins. You know, they performed well, and that's fine. But I'm not going to hold any, right? That's not really something that. How do I phrase it? You could try manually timing the market in these incredibly volatile coins, but remember, this is a zero-sum game. Like, everyone's not gonna win, right? Like, you're gonna buy Shiba or Doge or Shiba Vax, or there's another dog coin. There's a ton of dog coins. If you FOMO in now, I promise you that you're buying somebody's top. Like, that's just your money is best invested to long-term assets that you have a price projection that, like Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin 100K by the end of the next cycle. We could say the end of 2022. Just to be super safe. Obviously, it could happen before. I mean, look at this vertical movement, and if we, push a new all-time high, I mean, who knows how crypto crazy everybody's gonna get, right? We're about 10K from putting in a new all-time high, and this is a good week, man. This is a really good week. Let's see if I can put. No, it's not the 200 week. So we bounced off of a lot of our moving averages. We're setting them as support. In general, it's a really good sign for another bull run for Bitcoin and Ethereum and coins like that. But again, for my anecdotal experience, what I'm going to share with you guys is, if you've seen my portfolios, like, I don't own Bitcoin. I don't own Ethereum. I haven't been accumulating Bitcoin or Ethereum, and I wish I did. But what I'm not willing to do is take on unnecessary risk by dumping a lot of my liquidity and manually trying to time the market, right? If I want to accumulate Bitcoin, I'm going to do it by dollar cost averaging slowly, right? And I don't know exactly when I'm going to do that. But it is something on the table. I would like to have skin in the game, right? That's the thing. When Bitcoin puts a new all-time high, I want to be happy about that. And the only way I'm going to be happy about that is if I own Bitcoin. But again, I'm not going to drop 10K when we're at 54K off 2 big green candles. Like, yeah, we tested support and we put a bounce, and that's great. But it's just not the time. That's just not the time. Right now, what I'm looking to accumulate and is this right here. ADA had a lot of hype. ADA put a lot of big numbers in. ADA has been at 2.5, at 3, and they've got so many cool projects coming out, and it's a big hedge to Ethereum. Remember that they're not doing any kind of proof of work. They're looking to compete with Ethereum 2.0 as a fully, proof of stake ecosystem with low transaction fees, and providing all of the services that we're already accustomed to, and most likely new ones. So right now, in terms of where do I think the next big opportunity is, it's definitely here. This is a young ecosystem, even though the market cap is like insane. It's a top 5 coin. Like, there's $72 billion there already. If anyone's going to take on Ethereum, it's going to be Cardano. So that's really it. That's really that. I mean, there's not really too much more to say. There could be a bunch of people on the Ethereum network who don't want to wait for Ethereum 2.0. I understand a lot of people have their Ethereum staked, so it's not really like an option for them to liquidate their entire Ethereum position and go to Cardano. And I don't really expect them to either, considering people who are like Ethereum maxis, for the most part, they tend to like they don't really believe in Cardano. I remember I posted a video on my blog from a couple months ago because I was consuming a lot of DeFi Ethereum stuff, and there were developers who are just shit talking Cardano. They're like, why would we go to Cardano? We have to learn a whole new ecosystem. But they have a lot of financial backing. They're going to have an AVAX rush. They're going to have an incentive program to have your capital parked there and bring in people. So might as well accumulate your bag. It's a big project. If you want examples, because I know a lot of people aren't like 100% sold on it, you could just look up Sunday Swap. Right, this is a Cardano DEX, and it has good financial backing, and they've been working on it for a while. I wish they had like a Telegram or something. I really enjoy Telegram when developers are like communicating with their audience. Something I really liked about AVAX. So every program that I joined, let's see if I can pull up my Telegram. I like Avalanche because I have gotten a lot of really good information by interacting with people who are in these group chats, asking questions, asking what's next. See, these are all Avalanche projects. Every single one of these. I have Elk here. I have Storm Swap, which was a rug. I mean, it wasn't a rug, okay, but let's just say it was a bad program with bad tokenomics. Penguin, these are all things you can look into and invest in your own discretion. But my point is that I like joining these smaller communities with a lot of people talking. Makes me more comfortable about the direction and the momentum building behind these projects and the success, the reliability of these developers and things like that. Sunday Swap, I'm refreshing all the time. I follow them on Twitter because once you can use your Cardano, I think we're going to see some kind of price movement. Because that's really all that's missing, right? People own Cardano. Clearly, people are buying Cardano. If you go on YouTube, every crypto, guru is saying, "Oh, just buy some Cardano and stake it. It's good passive income." I mean, yeah, but the thing that most people, retail investors, and obviously bigger whale investors is like, I want to park my capital. I want to make a competitive yield as opposed to parking it on Ethereum or parking in Avalanche or Phantom or whatever it is. And right now you just can't use your Cardano. Right? So something to look forward to. I told you guys early, accumulate your bag. Don't do anything dumb. Don't just drop 10K. Please don't do that. Look up dollar cost averaging. Slowly build your position so that, when these things go live, you have a good exposure. So Cardano. Let's talk about Phantom. So this is the Avalanche bridging information. Obviously, we had a day here where people were just kind of done, leaving the ecosystem because of Aave. Everybody was waiting for Aave. Everybody thought that they could park their capital in Aave for a year and they were going to accumulate a bunch of coins like how they did on Polygon. But it kind of flopped, right? And you need to come strong out of the gate to keep people interested. The rates have to be competitive, and unfortunately, people just weren't feeling it. And although, we have seen more inflows than outflows, which is generally a good sign, it's kind of all over the place. And I really want to see how we start off next week. Right? It's Friday. The reason I do these videos on Friday is people over the weekend, for the most part, it's just crypto traders. You don't really see it's going to be crazy volatility. That's not really indicative of the long-term direction of crypto and DeFi as a whole. You can get some awesome deals, sure, but a lot of what we're going to see over the weekend is going to be what do you want to call it? Just kind of weeding out the paper hands. But this is what people keep calling it on Twitter and stuff like that. Is like, these ecosystems are fully functioning. It's just a matter of like, there's some people who they're up 2x and they're like, oh, I need to take out profits right now. That's what's happening in Avalanche. Okay, so where is all this money going? I know for a fact that a lot of people have bridged over to Phantom. I don't know the exact number, but oh, well, there you go. This is the first time I see this. I mean, I know obviously from consuming content, Twitter and checking Curve for Phantom and stuff, like it's obvious that there's a lot of new money in here. But man, looking at these charts, look at this. October has been a really good month for Phantom. I don't know how sustainable that's going to be because I have kind of perused Phantom a good bit, and they're really missing a lot of key things. Maybe I just haven't done enough research, but for the most part, I don't see anything that compares with Benki or Aave, right? A long-term, call it like a DeFi bank where you can borrow and you can lend and make a good money on it, right? Because that's the big thing with Aave, right? You can get paid to borrow and for obviously parking your assets. I'm going to show you guys my dashboard. It's kind of a mess, but just to give you guys a proof of concept, This is just like the last, this is my entire AVAX position that I haven't already liquidated. I've obviously already taken tons of profits, but I still have some in here just because sometimes I say, oh man, maybe I want to mint something, or maybe I want, there's still a lot of cool projects, right? So I don't want to completely liquidate my AVAX position, and I'm obviously accumulating AVAX. But yeah, this is what I'm doing. I park my AVAX because they're offering 17%, which is the highest out of all of the rewards that they're offering for all of the assets. They don't have Chainlink, which was a big thing that people were complaining about. I originally had stablecoins here. The reason it says 1 cent is because I ended up just putting everything here because the rates here, let's see if it says it. You know, you're looking at almost 30%, which isn't amazing, but it is give or take kind of the long-term average, right? Like I've seen a lot of these stablecoin farms, and most of the time they tend to stabilize around 30%. That's kind of what you can realistically expect. In the beginning, they're going to bribe you in with a bunch of crazy rates, but as the volume comes in, it's obviously going to go down. Right here, I'm borrowing Tether because you're getting paid 3% to borrow Tether. So just enough, not too much. I don't want to really risk anything with my health factor because I do value my AVAX position. I don't want to get liquidated. And obviously there's ways for me to take out more loans, you know, and play it a little bit closer. I am, you know, but I like leaving it here. 1.88 makes it so that there's no way I'm going to get liquidated. I'd have to miss AVAX dumping 50%. And, you know, I mean, I really hope that doesn't happen. I don't really see it happening. For that to happen, I mean, we're looking at like a $30 AVAX again. That's what I bought it at, right? There's no way, like, I don't think so. There's already so much liquidity parked and so many programs that I doubt that it's going to drop that low. And again, I hate to sound like I'm just harping the same thing, but the developers have communicated with us that they understand that the rates aren't competitive and they understand why people are leaving the ecosystem, which what that is expressing is that they're working on it. They're working on it, which is good. The fact that they're working on it, the fact that they're aware of what the problem was and why people left the ecosystem is good, which is, again, why I'm holding long term. Yeah, here's the phantom curve. So obviously these were a little bit higher, obviously with the, you know, with the coin pumping like it did. They're offering you the same like monetary rates, but you're not obviously accumulating as many coins. So it's not really as, it's not really as lucrative as it was a couple weeks ago. But I mean, the rates, I mean, look, this is why people are here. There's just slightly higher rates. It's essentially the same thing that they're offering on Avalanche, except you're getting another 9% in curve. I don't really want to accumulate any curve. If I did accumulate curve, every time I would withdraw, I'd probably dump it into more stables. I don't really have any interest in holding curve. I haven't really heard anything about like the tokenomics being very insane. I haven't heard of any staking. I haven't heard of any paper hands. I haven't heard of any way for me to really feel comfortable holding curve. It kind of reminds me of Aave. Like Aave has tons of money in it, but you don't see its governance coin popping off. You know, I have curve here. It's doing well. You know, it's been doing well over the whole DeFi craze, but in terms of it 2xing because people are using the phantom version of it, like that's not really a thing. If you want to accumulate, and this is, you know, there's a pool here that interests you, like for example, FUSDT, USDC, DAI, and what is it, Imaginary Money? It's just another new stable coin. Like you could get in early. There's no volume, right? And it says 0%, but it's really just the fact that sometimes these websites are a little buggy with new programs. I remember on Monday's video, it was all zeros. You couldn't get a good rate. You couldn't get a good estimate of what you were actually making on your money. But again, you can expect 35% essentially, unless there's for whatever reason, they don't add any kind of incentives. So let me think. What else is there to talk about? We talked about Ethereum, Bitcoin, Cardano, Phantom, Avalanche. Oh, the last one. The last one that I've been harping before, and I'm going to say it again. I did mention Binance. I don't really have any interest in owning Binance. I mean, like, there's money there for you if you want to take on a little bit more risk and you want to try and find some of these niche projects. Binance has a lot of good stuff on Pancake. Pancake is a huge ecosystem that you can partake in. I do at some point want to learn how to use it. But honestly, if I had to pick between Binance and Terra, it's really a no-brainer for me. Terra's doing really well. It already flipped Avalanche, which I thought it was going to take longer, to be honest. I really did. I mean, Avalanche is a great project. You know, even you see a lot of red on the screen, but I thought it was really going to outperform over, you know, in the short term. In the long term, you know, it's fairly obvious that Terra is a lot more established in terms of what it wants to achieve, right? Terra, if you go like on the Apollo, here we go. See, I've been Googling it. This is, you know, for people unfamiliar, for people new, they don't know what Terra is. I recommend you go back, you watch some of my other things. I do mention it. But just to give you a short summary, it's an entire ecosystem that is pegged around trading in US dollars, as stable coins, call it. And also they offer really unique things where you have these, I mean, they're just like financial derivatives that are pegged to stocks, right? So you can own Netflix or Tesla or Twitter or whatever in like a representative, like a token, right? And you can farm these. You know, if you look right here on the Apollo vaults, they're offering really good rates. I mean, really good rates in a lot of different things. This is probably what I would recommend to a lot of the finance people. I know I have a finance background, and there's a lot of people that are going to come and eventually read this and watch these videos who might be already trading stocks, right? You already have a diversified portfolio and whatever, and crypto is just kind of like another source of income for you. But if you're not super savvy on the difference between, you know, penguin coin and elk, right? Because you don't know about tokenomics and crypto, you know, slang, this is a good spot for you, right? You can buy stocks that you would, you know, normally buy on your Robinhood or your what's it called, Ameritrade or whatever you trade on, and you essentially can yield farm, right? You're like staking your assets, kind of, and it auto compounds and gives you some extra anchor. This one gives you mine, which is right here. What else? It's great. It's great. It's fairly safe. It's not nearly as volatile. And for people who are coming into this now, this is definitely still fairly young. I mean, it's hard for me to call it young when I had the opportunity to buy Terra at, or Luna, sorry, at $8, right? And right now we're trading at like 30 or 40. Yeah, 43. See, like, it's hard for me to be like, oh, we're early when you see a chart like this, but it is still fairly early because it hasn't hit the mainstream. You know, it hasn't reached the size of Ethereum or anything like that, when it really has the capabilities to provide a really well done kind of niche, kind of like what Curve does, and like their entire focus is providing stablecoin liquidity. Hi there, nice job. What type of crypto wallet do you recommend? What kind of crypto trading app do you recommend? Good question. Um, I love MetaMask. MetaMask is really good. MetaMask has support for hardware wallets. So if you're getting into crypto, I think I have mine right here. Let me show you. I have a ledger right here where I keep a lot of my crypto, and I just feel more comfortable having it on the ledger, even though you're not really supposed to do DeFi things on the ledger because you're exposing it to the internet. The whole point is like this never connects with the internet. But what I do like is that for any transaction to be approved, you have to put in a huge password onto this ledger, and you need to approve the contracts. So if you're getting into crypto, looking to getting a ledger wallet, I'm not sponsored or anything. It's just honestly a great product. They've been around for a long time, and it's some really good security. And then in terms of like the wallet that you're going to be using every day, MetaMask is great. MetaMask is just outstanding. You see up here, the top right, this is MetaMask right here. If you're unfamiliar with how to use MetaMask, here I have to switch to a DeFi app. I don't know what I have on here. Okay, but you see here it says Ledger. This is just like AVAX that I have for gas fees and things. But you can have like multiple accounts. You can go across all the different chains, you know, the Phantom, Binance Smart Chain, Ethereum Mainnet, and it's all under one address. So when I go to something like DBank and I put my profile, it'll tell me across all the different ecosystems that I have money invested. I can, you know, check my yields, which is awesome, how much rewards I've made and what my rates are. Obviously, these aren't super accurate. These rates are calculated based on how much you've actually made, not on what your future projection is for the next year. So, you know, it's not super accurate, but it's one of the best like wallet checking websites you can use. You know, it doesn't have really good NFT support. I do have NFTs, they just don't pop up. But they'll get there. They'll get there. But yeah, good question, man. MetaMask for your software wallet and a Ledger for your hardware wallets. Yeah. This right here, though, the thing about Terra, honestly, the reason that I haven't already just dumped money into it is because you need a different wallet. This is not an Ethereum mainnet layer one solution like Avalanche, right? All of these Phantom, Avalanche, Binance, they all work on Ethereum. So you can use MetaMask and you can go across these systems. But with things like Cardano and Terra, they're like proprietary technology. They have their own wallets, they have their own ecosystems, their own code, their own developers. So you have to learn it, you know, but it's definitely worth it. This is definitely something that in the future is great. You know, I don't really use the protocol that allows these stocks, this like stock tokenization. It's called Mirror right here. I don't mind learning about tokenomics and crypto, so I don't really indulge in buying stocks. But it's interesting. It's definitely interesting. I think the Terra ecosystem, let me see. I'm not going to say too much, but if you want more information, I recommend you definitely go to my website. It should be in the description, or if not, it's just carloslenis.com. I finally took all my finals, so I'm back. I'm going to be spamming everybody tons of information. I made the Telegram, which I haven't really been spamming people because it's really only my moderators and close friends that have joined. But once it picks up a little bit of traction and I get some new people, I'm definitely going to start spamming. I made the DeFi landing page like I said I was going to. All this stuff is old stuff from the DeFi craze back in the summer. But I'm definitely going to keep everybody posted on Terra, Phantom, Avalanche, and I'm going to try my best to learn Binance Smart Chain. And I'm going to stay ahead of the curve on Cardano. So if that's something that interests you, go over, definitely sign up. It's free, you know. I'm just doing work for you, essentially. I love Twitter, and I'll just send you, you know, the big headlines and stuff. And I might make a tab for NFTs too, because a friend of mine that got into Avalanche with me you know, he hasn't been farming, he hasn't been staking, he hasn't been doing anything like that. He's been flipping NFTs and he's been making great money. So, and there's some really cool technology too coming out. So I'm definitely going to keep everybody posted. I think that's pretty much it. It's pretty late at night. It's 5:30 in the morning. It's just, I usually do my DeFi Fridays, 6 p.m. on Fridays, but unfortunately with finals week, it's been a whole disaster. And I did want to update everybody. I have been getting a lot of questions, people texting me, what's going on. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want to touch on. I think that's it. Last thing I'm going to look at, just because it's something I recommend anybody thank you for your stream. Good job. See you next time. Good night. Hey, thanks, man. Thanks for dropping by. Something that I always do and I recommend people do is when there's like a giant auto compounding aggregator on the ecosystem, just like log in and just look at what's trending. I mean, obviously don't ape in, you know, if you don't know what these coins are or you don't know what the farm platform is, but you can definitely catch a lot of projects on the way up because they're going to be providing the highest rates because they need the liquidity. That's how I found a lot of the best programs that I've made money on. Look, that's how I found Elk. I remember I saw them offering like 4,000%. I said, this has to be a scam. This has to be a pump and dump. And I made good money on it. And it's a really cool technology too. So this is pretty much what I'm going to leave you guys with. I'm just going to scroll through so I can get it in the YouTube video. Olive. I have people talking about Olive. I'm super skeptical about it just because of the way the UI looks and just because of the way that they're communicating with their community, but it's been on here for a bit. Baguette is also something that's been on here for a bit. So now that I've, you know, learned all of these, I have to learn all the Phantom ones, and I'll make another post. I'm going to try and make it as easy as possible for new investors to come in with different kind of risk levels, and that's it. Follow me on Twitter, follow my website, join my oh, look at that, I got exposed. Taiki Maeda. Yeah, go watch his videos. He's got a really good take on what's going on. Definitely go watch him. I show him every single stream. But you know, this stream's up 42 minutes, so I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna let it run for probably like another minute, because last time it cut me off on YouTube, and I'm gonna go off. Baguette again, Lydia. Lydia's been here on for a while. Avaware. Party Swap is a new one that I don't really like. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Take care. See you guys probably Monday night. We'll see how the week opens. Peace. Take care.